Yeah. What's good?
Yo.
So yeah, I go by the name Be Easy. You could just call me Easy. Everybody call me that. But welcome to the Untouched Studios. Welcome to Untouched Radio, where we have a lot of fun here, man. So this is our first episode, and to be honest with you, I don't think it would be right to have anyone else as one of our first guests here. This is family. This is peoples. This is, some of that good old Southern comfort, that good old Southern hospitality. You hear me?
Lord.
It's that loyalty to the end. But shout out to you, bro. Mississippi Menace.
Facts, man. Hey, I just want to thank you for having me, man. Shout out to Untouched Studios. Shout out to the boss man. Y'all call him Easy. I call him the boss man, bro. Shout out to Tone. Y'all can't see Tone. Tone all behind the scenes.
Yeah, what they gonna do with us, Tone? You feel me?
Shit. Shout out to Galaxy, man. And free that boy Sel, man.
Yeah, free Sel.
Sel free that boy Sel.
That's
you
a
feel me?
fact. That's a fact, man.
But, bro, it's a pleasure to be here for real, man.
Yeah,
especially
man.
As the first guest. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man, you deserve that, man. You've been rocking with us for a good minute.
Yeah.
Word. Shout out to JP, man. Teflon.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Facts.
Interstate Tef, excuse me. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Euro. You know. Shout out to Tackett, man. You know, to be honest, it's the first episode, so we gotta get all our shout outs out the way. Tackett was the one who designed the logo before we had to get it digitized. So shout out to Tackett.
Shout
you know
out.
Word.
Sure.
Shout out to Big Bro JR. He out there in the A right now doing his thing. Yeah. Me and him started this a long time ago. And it grew into where it's at, man. And it's a dope thing to be a part of. It's to see grow. And you're one of the latest additions to what we got going on. So
yeah, man. Shoot. So shout out to Mississippi for one. Shout out to the home team. Shout out to Bunkley, most specifically. You know what I'm saying? Woodville.
I hear that.
Shoot. You know what I'm saying? First, I just want to say rest in peace to my daddy. Rest in peace to my son. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, Lord.
Two of the most influential men that I ever had a pleasure to walk this green earth with, you know what I'm saying, outside of my grandfather as well.
Yeah.
But, you know what I'm saying, long live them two kings.
Yes, Lord.
But shout out to T. Toady, Leak, Mac, T. Wells, Dig, Sam, the whole crew, man. Shout out to all y'all, man. Y'all already know how we doing. Like I said, when I get on, my whole hood coming with me, so we gonna make that shit happen for real.
I hear that shit, bro. I hear that. I'll sip to that shit.
Facts, salute.
Yeah, I mean, salute.
But it's definitely good to be here, though.
Yeah. Yo, we can get some more Douce, you heard?
Oh.
Appreciate you, bro. But yeah, so we gonna get right into it, man. I want to know from the beginning, man, how it all shook out. Appreciate you, Brody. Appreciate you.
Appreciate that. Shout out to Jay.
Yeah.
Shout out to the Jigga Man. Do say if I do say so myself.
And I do it because this Jay,
It's New
You gotta
York.
pull your own trouble.
Oh,
You
yeah,
know what I'm
facts,
saying?
facts,
You know
facts,
how I
facts.
feel. If you know me, you know how I feel about Jay. But since I've known you, it's always been a Duce and around in the building. So
Facts.
for this one, I had to back the Duce
I
out.
appreciate that too. I appreciate that too, man.
You know that.
But from the beginning,
Yeah,
man, look.
Back home, I wanna hear how it all started. What was the moment when you felt like, you know what?
I'm finna be a rapper.
I'm different. Yeah.
Oh, I'm different.
Yeah.
On some real shit.
Yeah. On
the
on
moment
just
I
knowing
felt
you a
like I
different
was
person.
different,
Yeah.
didn't happen in the beginning.
Gotcha.
So if you want it from the beginning, the moment I knew I was gonna be a rapper,
Right.
shout out to my sister Remy.
Hey.
Shout out to Nisha. Can't forget the Woody girls. It wouldn't be no Woody boys without the Woody girls. You know what I'm saying?
Shout out.
For real. But they went on a little trip one time. I ain't go. You know what I'm saying? Youngest of the camp, but still the dumbest of that V. You feel me? But they came back, bro. And they was on some... They had made up a song called Pass That Ketchup.
Look at that. That's fire.
And kids, man, you know what I'm saying? And but it was catchy. Like I could still I could hear it right now. Like as you asked me that question, I already knew that was finna be the song I said. They was on some, yo, that hamburger look good once you pass that ketchup. The pickles and the onions come on past the ketchup. You feel me?
Fire. Little remix of the Juvie. I hear that.
Right?
That's fire.
And I'm just like, wow, we can say anything and make it sound good. You know what I'm saying? But for me, it's more than like rap. It's deeper than being a rapper. I'm from the bottom part of Mississippi, like a part of the church circuit. Southern Baptist Church Circuit. I grew up missionary Baptist.
I hear that.
Not just Baptist.
You was
missionary. You feel me? Church. And music always been a part of my life, man. Like as a young boy, I was in choir. Like I played sports, but I was in choir in high school. You know what I'm saying? And I like choir. It was, I don't know. I really don't know why. Like, if thinking back on it, like, why choir? I don't know. But I know church was choir. You know what I'm saying? I went to Sunday school, church service, Bible study, choir practice. You know what I'm saying? So when it came to being in the choir in school, it was like, you know what I'm saying? Thinking back on it, like, why would you torture yourself even more? You know what I'm saying? Getting in the choir, you already gotta go to church.
Gotta stay with the music.
You already gotta go to church. But like we perform, like no lie, man. Shout out to Franklin County, man. That's where I'm from, Franklin County. Meadville, Mississippi is our county seat. Our choir was bad. Like our choir was bad. Like we won state titles. You know what I'm saying? And that's always been something that drove me. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, church. Growing up in the church, singing in the choir, watching my aunties, my dad, my uncle, like, bro, my uncle, LC, Reverend LC Williams, I didn't literally seen him sing the church out the doors, the doors off the church. You know what I mean? Like, so, like, music, it's like it's in me. Like, music is in me, and from the beginning, like, I knew that if I wasn't an artist, I wanted to be a part of an artist's life. Like, shout out to T Toady. You know what I'm saying? That's my little cousin, but my brother, like his dad and my dad, first cousins, and like they just had a bond out of this world. Like, that's my brother. Just like his dad was my dad's brother. And I used to always say before I moved here, that was my artist that I was gonna develop. Cause I ain't have no passion for being an artist until I moved here.
Got you.
But being a part of something was always there. Something musically was always there. And yeah, man, like moving to New York 4 years ago, going on 5, was like my epiphany. Like, develop yourself as an artist, because You got it.
Mhm.
And yeah, now we here
Now we
on Untouched
here.
Radios
Uh,
doing the interview.
now you know what's dope is we all have a story to tell, man. Shout out to Pleasant, D Spain. We'll have him on the show soon. But he always says like we all have a story to tell, because he feels we're all connected. And I love that, that thought, because how we ended up linking up, or, Tone and the rest of the gang, we all got together, in a fashion that we wouldn't even expect,
Facts.
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 So
Unheard of.
yeah, so it's a story. We all have, our own perspective, on that story, and I love it. I love it. I love that you started to do music and you chose to do it with us, bro. And yeah, you keep growing, man. We talk about it all the time. We talk about it all the time. So that track that we had playing on the come in,
Yeah.
that was Soldier's Anthem. That's on the After Midnight album.
Facts.
Yeah. Yeah. How did you come up with that title, bro?
The album title?
Yeah, album title, After Midnight. How did you come up with that?
Man. To be honest, that that was the simplest title for an album coming from Mississippi Menace that I could come up with for my first official solo project. And once again, like I said in my intro, shout out to Tone. I didn't feel productive during the process of making that project unless I was in the studio between the hours of 10 p.m. and 2 a.m. And in the 10 songs, it was originally supposed to be 10, ended up being 9, but the 10 songs that made the cut for that project were all recorded after midnight. And they're beautiful. Like they're some beautiful records. In the process of making it, I can say for a fact, I lost confidence in myself several times. But being here in the presence of some real niggas,
I hear that.
make sure y'all go get some on the rocks.
Some on the rocks. It's out on all platforms. You hear
real.
me?
But just like the confidence that Untouched had in Mississippi Menace was what pushed me to keep just dropping shit, just keep on coming to the studio, keep on putting out these ideas, because they all, like every song on After Midnight was an idea that I had at a random time of someday, unfortunately, I lost the notebook that all of those songs were brainstormed in.
Man.
But, y'all know, but the people don't know. I freestyle pretty much everything that I record, whether it starts from me listening to it over and over and recording myself and writing down what I hear. But it does end up on paper or in a note on my phone, whether it's a freestyle or not. But After Midnight was a struggle for me, believe it or not. As good as it sounds, as good as some of the bars that I've been able to put out since then sound, but being in here watching Tone still motivate me. 12, 1, 2. I remember one night I came here at 9:30 p.m. And I told Tone, I'm like, Tone, I know what I want to do. And he was like, all right, let's do it. And I didn't leave here at 4:30 that morning. But when I left here at 4:30, I felt good. I felt accomplished.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, like those 10 songs, they was the best of the best. Cause they just came at that peak hour. Some say if you up between the hours of 2 and 5 a.m., it's God or the angels talking to you. You know what I'm saying? So after midnight, some real stuff being said on that. You know what I mean?
I love that. I love
real
that.
talk.
So, with that being your first album, let's go back, man. What's the very first album that you was introduced to, and then I want to know the first album you ever purchased before. With your own paper, like, not the one that you got gifted. They was looking at the one with your own paper, and you was like, I gotta get that one.
Okay. The first album that I was introduced to was 500 Degrees. Hot Boys. You know what I mean? And the first album that I purchased with my own money was Alicia Keys' Diary.
Sheesh, look at that. Two totally different spectrums.
You feel me?
That's fire, and that's probably what shapes you as an artist. How you can approach it from different ways.
Facts.
Yeah.
And I don't know, like Hot Boys, and I mean, when you think of Mississippi, you don't think of like historically. Like I'm 34, I just turned 34 a couple weeks ago. You know what I mean? So when you think about music, hip hop, when I was growing up in Mississippi, there's nothing to equate it to as far as Mississippi. But when you think about hip hop, when I was growing up in Mississippi, you think about Hot Boys, you think about Mass P, you think about Juicy J, Project Pat, Mama Mia. Shit, I could keep going. You know what I mean? So, like when the Hot Boys came out, and Baby and Manny Fresh was pushing. I'm talking about bling bling, get your roll on.
Oh, they was killing them.
Like they was killing them. And shout out to No Limit, because No Limit had been putting out albums.
Yeah, Big Bro put me on the No Limit.
But when Hot Boys started dropping albums, they didn't stop. Like they just started.
Yeah,
like
I love that. I love that about them.
Yeah,
They don't stop doing music.
But when I got to a point where I was like, I'm finna go buy a CD. Yeah, I'm finna go buy a CD. Alicia Keys had dropped Diary, and Diary, you know what I'm saying, the single, like, it spoke to me, cause I grew up in Mississippi, Southern Missionary Baptist. You know what I'm saying, and for me as a man, what I was going through during those times, Diary spoke to me. You know what I'm saying? Because that's all I had. All I had was the pen and the paper to pour into, to understand me. You know what I'm saying? So, like, the song, the whole album, like, it changed my whole perspective of life. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm, like, holding stuff in here, but I got this paper, you know what I'm saying, that I could just say it to. They ain't gonna tell nobody. And you know what I'm saying, if I don't show nobody, they ain't gonna know.
Right.
You know what I mean? And then just putting it on paper and witnessing it come from paper to life. But like that's a whole different.
Yeah, that's a different game.
That's a whole different perspective of it. But yeah, I love Diary. That was one of my favorite albums. Period. As an artist,
yeah,
as a person, you know what I'm saying. The Alicia Keys is fire.
My first one I purchased was Lauryn Hill, the Miseducation of Lauryn Hill.
The Miseducation of Lauryn Hill.
Man, that one was the one for me.
I feel
personally. You know what I mean? And you know, shout out to Lauryn Hill, man. Definitely in, my top 5 artists of all time. And didn't have uh, a skip on it. I listened to that one heavy. You know what I'm saying? So it's cool. It's interesting how we pull from our
feminine energy.
and like is and you know what it really is one thing I love about a lot of the female artists, and I guess I'll speak from that time. Those hip hop artists, they had such a way where they knew they were fighting against all the stereotypes of what hip hop was. For Lauryn Hill, if, I'm speaking in sense of Lauryn Hill, especially being the only female
In an all
male group. So, and it was 3 of them, but all in all, I love how she could go into a cipher, circle would just get crazy. Like she could rap, sing, just musically inclined. Beat, no beat, beat on the table, So like that's the essence of the hip hop that always spoke to me, early on. And Lauryn Hill embodied that for me growing up. That was like somebody that was the first album. and believe it or not, that one and Sammy had to get that I like the way shit. That was everything back in the day. I ain't
That's a
even gonna
fact.
hold you.
That's a fact, bro.
I had all the honeys with that one.
I'm with
all
you
the
on
shorties,
that.
they was all
I'm with you on
it was
that,
going
bro.
crazy low key with that one. But it was it's awesome, man, to hear that R&B was the first route you went. But then it almost doesn't surprise me with the upbringing, being that you was in a choir, you had a lot of singing in your background. So if you're gonna pick someone that can sing, Alicia Keys, that's a hell of a person to pick to sing. So I have a question for you, bro. I have a question. I actually have 2 questions.
Okay.
A lot of people gonna go top 5s. Here we just gonna go top 3, right? We ain't even gonna go all the way 5. That takes too much time right now. So boom. And I don't even care. It doesn't have to be, let's throw all the numbers out. This is all to Mississippi.
Alright.
Like I wanna know your 3 favorite, no order in particular, hip hop artists. I want to know your 3 favorite singers, and then we're gonna switch it out because I know you always do this for me when I'm with you. Then I'm gonna go with some of that country, that good old country music. 3 country artists that you really that you fuck with, that give you, you know what I'm saying, and give you that inspiration, that vibe. What gets you going when it comes to artists motivating you with their music? Top 3. Excuse me. We're doing top 3. So you could start with either genre. It could be singers in any genre, not just R&B. We talking just
singers.
If you could sing, let's just say singing. Yeah, we're gonna we're gonna top 3. So pick whatever ones and
I'm gonna say. Ready. I'm gonna start in the way you asked. So my top 3 hip hop gonna be Drake.
Okay.
T.I.
Okay. Tip.
Pop.
Love Pop.
Singers. It's gonna be Jasmine Sullivan.
Ooh. Okay.
Jasmine Sullivan.
Slept on.
Yeah, facts. Heavy. I'm gonna say Chris Brown,
Mm.
and then I'm gonna say
Shout out
Otis
to the
Redding.
fam, Chris Brown.
Yeah,
Otis Redding.
Otis Redding. Yeah.
You went there. You went there. You did that.
And
Okay.
then for country, I'm gonna say Tim McGraw,
Okay.
Brad Paisley, and Carrie Underwood. Facts.
I love it. I love it. And yo, what's dope about you is you so certain and so sure of yourself. You didn't even hesitate. You knew exactly where you was going with it.
Facts.
That's dope. That's
The
dope.
only one I say I kind of hesitate on was with the singers because I have so many.
Right.
As a rapper,
Sure.
I have so many favorite singers.
Yeah.
Like I could have substituted Jasmine Sullivan for Etta James, Chris Brown for Cornbread from the Temptations.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Otis Redding for Sam Cooke. Otis Redding for Johnny Taylor. Any of them for Whitney Houston.
Oh man.
Like
Whitney usually always come out.
You know.
Yeah.
Diana Ross. Mike, you know what I'm saying? Mike was different.
See,
But
Beyonce's special to me.
Beyonce is special to me too. But ironically, if I did have a top 5, Beyonce would make it. And also for my singers, Boy George. Shout out to my Uncle AD.
Look at that.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Boy George was different.
Okay.
Freddie Mercury. Like
What about Ron Isley?
Ron.
Godfather.
See, if I get to talk about Ron, that mean I gotta talk about Papa LaVert.
Yeah.
Everybody like to talk about Gerald, but don't nobody want to talk about Daddy.
We'll drink to that.
So,
I'll drink to that. That's dope. But yeah, so yeah, that's a hell of a list. That's a hell of a list. So let's dive in, man. Let's dive in. So now you did your first album, you know, feels good. Kind of get it out the way. What you got stewing up for the future? Do you have album titles, or is it something to look forward to out there that's coming, or are you still in the works with all of that right now?
Well, I would definitely say it's a lot more to look forward to.
Okay.
Like with everything I done been through,
Mm-hmm.
right now I have learned more now than ever. Like the studio is my reset.
Mm-hmm.
So I definitely want to be in the studio more than I have been, even more than I was with After Midnight, because like I would call you, hey boss, I want to get a session,
Mm-hmm.
and you're like, all right, let me know, and I never let you know, you know what I'm saying? So like I said, and we had a private conversation about my consistency. So that's one thing that I do look forward to for myself, is being more consistent in the studio. And I have been talking about getting something out rather quickly to follow up After Midnight, and I do already got the title for it.
Okay. Let's hear it.
So it's Daybreak. You know
Okay.
what I'm saying? You know,
Daybreak.
After midnight comes Daybreak.
That's fire.
So
reason for that, is it similar? Because I know you.
Yeah.
The After Midnight.
It's a
similar.
Similar reason. Like I said, After Midnight, you know, is daybreak or dawn. You know what I'm saying? And I'm country. You know what I'm saying? And that's how I look at the day.
Mm-hmm.
Like I know when I get up, that's the daybreak. You know what I'm saying? The day done broke for me. Midday. You know what I'm saying? And then you know, got dusk. You got midnight. You know. So, you know, that might be a little, what they call it, when you playing video games and shit, Easter egg for what Mississippi got coming for y'all, you know what I'm saying, when it comes to the music and the titles. But right now, I'm just riding a wave. I don't want to put too much on myself. I don't want to overcommit, because I want to be more consistent with everything. And I notice about myself, like overcommitting doesn't show commitment. You know what I'm saying? I can only do so much. You know what I'm saying?
I love that.
You know, a lot of people around me understand what I've been through. You know what I'm saying? And it's a lot. You know what I'm saying? Losing a kid is a lot,
Yeah.
but that don't make nobody else's situation less valid.
Right.
You know what I'm
Right.
saying? What they going through. So I'm trying to get to where I can, you know what I'm saying, operate on a day to day basis without, you know, people and myself saying, hey, you know, he just lost his kid. It's okay that he didn't show up. Because no, it's not. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
It's not. It's not, period. So that's the most prominent project I have for myself right now is consistency and
Mm-hmm.
showing up for myself and when I'm supposed to.
Man, where do you pull for your strength, man? Like I swear, I need to bottle that up, and I'm getting paid. You know what I mean? I'm not playing around. Like I need that. You know what I'm saying? Because for me, you know, I watched it. You know, I was, you know, one of the first calls. I would like to say that.
The
You know,
first call.
the first call. Uh, and bro, I was heartbroken. You know, and the way you have handled it has been second to none, bro. I haven't seen anything, a display of strength and resilience, get back, however you want to look at it. I haven't seen anything like that. You know what I mean? And it's just, you know, where would you say you pull from? Like, where do you pull from your strength?
Um, Man, the Most High,
I hear that. Shout out to the Most High.
for real. Like, I'm not a growing up. Missionary Baptist didn't produce a religious man, but it did produce a man with faith.
I hear
You
that.
know what I mean? And just like I said, like losing my son don't make my situation no greater than anybody that's going through anything else. That probably ain't even got nothing to do with death.
Right.
Um, One thing I know for a fact is that word don't waver.
Nah.
And that's where I grew up. I grew up in that word, you know what I'm saying? And one thing I can remember a lot, I can't remember a lot about my childhood. And then like therapy sessions with psychiatrists and psychologists because they're two totally different things.
Mm-hmm.
One consistent thing that I know of, like things that I hold on to, was things that my grandmother said, my maternal grandmother. And like I could like always remember my mom saying like, yeah, grandmama prayed. Like I know I could remember my mom saying it, and I know for a fact like my grandma used to pray so hard over her grandkids and great grandkids, cause like she had 15 children.
Mm.
So with me being part of the youngest of the grandkids, like she had great grandkids. I got most of her great grandkids are like my age.
Mm.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Because like my mama the youngest of 15.
Yeah.
Man, shout out to my granny. Rest in peace to her. She was born in
rest in peace.
1919, bro. You know what I'm saying? She birthed 15 kids. So I can remember her like I prayed to see my kids get grown and raise their kids, and like she was able to see most of her grandkids of age having kids, and I you know like
Yeah, my mom was somebody, man, that she would pray at night till she cried. I think she still does that, honestly. But she get down and pray till she cried, bro.
yeah man
And I never understood it as a kid. You know, I always thought something wrong with my mom. She
something wrong
bugging
with
out.
my mom, right?
She bugging out. But you know, with all the close calls and just, you know, things that you get through and it's hard to explain it, you like, yo, something was there. You know how they always say you got a guardian angel, or there's
Yeah,
always something was
somebody
watching over me.
you.
You know, it's wild how that is, you know. And those same somebodies might have been summoned by those prayers. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
man.
Those hardcore prayers, bro.
And
It's
and
wicked.
see for me, um, and like not even to get on no whole other like political or politically correct
Sure.
thing, but like my ancestors are indigenous to this land.
Mm.
You know what I mean? And that's all they had.
Mm-hmm.
That's all they had
Mm-hmm.
was prayer,
Yeah.
faith that
Yeah.
things will get better.
That
You
it
know
will
what I
change.
mean?
Yeah.
And I know for a fact, and I said it in one of my bars on After Midnight. I know for a fact I'm my ancestors' wildest dreams. I know for a fact, like wildest,
Mm.
the wildest of the wild, and a lot of us, you know what I'm saying, here, not just black people, you know what I'm saying, but a lot of us in all of our walks of life are our ancestors' wildest dreams.
Yeah.
Um, Especially when you look at it as untouched and what we stand for.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I know for a fact.
Yeah. A lot of smiles coming
Yeah,
down.
you feel
A lot
me?
of
Like,
smiles
you know
coming
what I'm
down.
saying?
Yeah,
You
yeah.
already know where I'm coming from
Yeah.
with that. Like, I know for a fact we've stood in the graces and and done things that they're proud of and continue to be proud of, continue to do things that they're proud of.
Mm-hmm.
Stood up for things that some of them wish they could have stood up for.
Yeah.
Didn't have the strength that we have, that we show, you know what I'm saying, as a part of them. So, you know what I'm saying, when people say it, like, I know, you know what I'm saying, I've heard that saying so many times, even before I put it in that bar. Like, oh, I'm my ancestors' wildest dream. Like, but are you though? Like, what are you doing that's so magnificent? But like with this group of people that I've been blessed to become a part of, like, we different.
Yeah, we part
You
of
know what I'm
something.
saying? Yeah. So
Yeah, we part of something, man. And yeah, man, if you listening, get on this side of history, you hear me?
yeah.
This is the right side of history. You know, we're doing things.
Definitely that.
But yeah, you know, to keep pushing forward. You know, to hear a lot of like the things that motivate you, right? What are things that you like to do that's outside of music? Like, what is like a hobby, if you will? Like, is there something that they don't know about Mississippi that you don't say in your bars? Like, are you a low key cook or something, or like, do you fuck around with you know what I'm saying? Do you play an instrument? But now that's still music. Like, do you play a sport? Have you played a sport? Like, what is there something that they don't know about you that you do?
Yeah. Definitely, I'm definitely a sports fanatic, man. I was into sports in high school.
Mm-hmm.
My family is very athletic. Both sides, I would like to say. But I cook. You know what I'm saying? I'm a Southern gentleman.
I
You
hear
know
that.
what I mean? Like,
So do you like? So is that like a thing that you like to do, or is it something that you just can do? Like, is it something you like to do? Like, do you
facts.
get busy
So I
with the
can
plate
get
in it
busy
and all of that? You
with
know
the
what I'm
playing
saying?
and
Yeah.
all of that, but I don't
Copy.
like to cook. Like, I cook because I know that I have to sustain my life. You know what I'm saying? When I cook, now what I will say is becoming a resident of New York, because I'm forever a Mississippian.
Yeah. You always super proud. I love that though. You
Yeah,
gotta be
man.
proud of where you from.
Facts. I love the hood, but becoming a resident of New York has made me more of a takeout guy. So when I cook, it's more so because I want to cook now.
Gotcha.
So that not liking to cook has kind of dissolved itself, because when I feel like I need something to ground me, like, I'm real big into meditating. I guess to answer that question,
Yeah.
I'm a real big hashtag, not hashtag, but I'm real big on the meditating.
Got it.
Hindu, Buddhism, whatever you want to look at it, all that grounding, tune with the universe. I'm real big on that. That drives me. Astrology,
Mm-hmm.
I'm real big into the zodiacs,
Mm-hmm.
but cooking is one thing that I found that I didn't like when I had to do it. But now, living in New York for the last 4 going on 5 years, like cooking is something that I can ground myself with. And I mean, like the grill to the stove, you know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? Like most dudes, they don't look at dude like that dude can't cook. Like I can cook. I'm talking about greens.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You said all that. I
Black
hear
eyed
that.
peas,
You
you know what I
heard?
mean?
Crazy,
Cornbread from
crazy.
scratch.
All from scratch.
From scratch,
Better
no
take it
jiffy.
easy.
You feel me?
Yeah. So, nah, that's dope. That's dope. I heard you touch upon sports. So, you know that season
Don't
come
do
around.
that.
You know that season coming around.
Saints, New Orleans.
Mm.
Gonna jump.
Do
Who
we
that,
play?
baby?
Do we play? Do we play this year?
I doubt it, but you
If
know,
we play
if we
this
do,
year, I
we
need.
should try to get to that game.
Well, I know I'm going to a game this year for sure. I went to a Dallas Cowboys game for the first time last season, and yeah, I'm going every year.
Every year?
Yeah, no doubt about
Well,
it.
as a big of a Saints fan as I am, I have not had the pleasure to sit up in that Superdome. I done been by it many times. I done did a lot of things around it, but I ain't never been up in that mug. But I'm definitely who that to the who that.
Well, it's been
no
a while.
more.
It's been a while since you had a team that you want to be proud of. You know what I'm saying?
Always be proud of them. Always. I'm number one fan. I should have got the coaching job.
I hear that. Who's your quarterback?
Who's my quarterback? Like,
If you had the coaching job. If you had the coaching job.
If I had the coaching job, Breeze wouldn't have retired.
Oh, you'd you gonna keep holding on to Breeze.
Yeah.
I hear
but
that.
if he, would have like been like, all right, coach, yeah, all right. I would say Cam Newton, honestly. Or Colin Kaepernick.
A lot of people fell off with Cam. They didn't think Cam could do it anymore. I don't know. It was the antics, bro. It was the antics.
I would have rather Cam over Jameis, honestly. But I'm not gonna bag Jameis like that.
Right.
He did what he could do, But as a head coach, I would have gave Colin Kaepernick a job.
So you guys are looking all right.
Yeah.
You guys have Derek Carr now.
No, Derek Carr is not why we looking all right.
Yeah.
Respectful.
It is though, cause he's Breeze like.
He's better than. Is he though?
Cause he throws all over the field. He throws all over the field. If Michael Thomas, which it looks like how you questionable.
Because he tore his Achilles.
So
he's a wide receiver.
Bad news.
But the thing, I'm gonna honestly be honest with you about Carr. He ain't Breeze like. Because he throw the ball like Breeze, but Breeze, I haven't seen a quarterback willing to take a hit.
Different. Yeah, his accuracy was different too. I love Breeze. Breeze had a big arm.
I appreciate that.
Yeah,
I appreciate that
Breeze.
from a Dallas Cowboy fans, ladies and gentlemen. He wasn't gonna say that as the host of this show.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you this. I'm not gonna talk about the Cowboys right now.
Not yet.
Yeah, because. When I get to talking and we talking sports, I put wages up on mine. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about who gonna make the playoff wages. I'm talking about, I put my team up against anybody team when I start talking. I'm too passionate to talk about my Cowboys.
Yeah,
I'm way too passionate. See, you done brought them up. Now I gotta go.
Now you gotta go check y'all.
Now I gotta go look, see if we play y'all. I went to y'all page to see if y'all play us, but what was I doing? You're right.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
What was I doing? You right.
Don't do that. Come on.
So do we get y'all? No.
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 No. Nah. Y'all ain't lucky this year. Y'all lucky this year, man. Y'all escaped that ass whooping.
Yeah. You know damn well.
No.
Let's go to y'all schedule.
Yeah, let's see. We always, let me tell you something. We always have the hardest schedule in the NFC South. Because we like that.
Yeah, y'all
We
might
like
be
that.
good this year though because y'all don't
We're
have a
good
lot
every
of
year.
y'all don't have a lot of competition in y'all division. Y'all
We
division
are the
is the
competition.
least.
You can't compete where you don't compare, boss. Come on.
There's no more Brady in that division, so
Man, we're not
who's
worried.
in charge?
Brady had no business being in that division anyway. Don't get
who's
me
in
started
charge?
on that, you know.
who's
Don't get me
who's in
started on
charge
that.
now?
The Saints.
Derek Carr, I guess he's the one in
Yeah,
charge.
in fact, we got Tennessee game 1. Definitely blowing them out. We're definitely blowing Tennessee out.
Blowing Tennessee out?
We're
think
blowing
so?
Tennessee out. The water. At Tennessee. Oh, no, it's in the Superdome.
Wow. You actually have a really good schedule
We
this
do
year.
have a
you
great
might
schedule
you
this year.
might make
We're
the
in
playoffs.
the playoffs. We're in the playoffs.
Yeah.
And we getting revenge on Kansas City in the Superdome.
I hear that.
Because they...
Yeah.
Let's not talk about sports, because then that means I got to talk about politics. Nobody wants to hear that.
And I told you, once we start talking and you done brought my team
Nobody
up, I
wants
was
to
going to
hear
say,
that.
what's up? How many
Don't even ask
games
me
y'all
about
going to win
basketball,
if
because
y'all
I'm going
win?
to be completely honest. I'm a Kevin Durant fan. For
Oh,
everybody
so you
who
go,
don't know that.
okay, so you
So
go
I'm with
wherever
the Suns.
KD go.
I'm
Okay.
going every team he go to.
Got it.
Call it
Respect.
bandwagon, call it whatever you want.
Respect.
I'm saying it honestly as a grown-ass man.
Yeah, respect.
Since he got drafted.
Oh, so did you follow in college too when he was there?
Longhorns, baby.
Yeah, I hear that.
So you can't even hate the fact that it seems like I'm a bandwagon. I've been following him since college.
Shout out to my bro A, man. He put me on to Kevin Durant way before he went to Texas, and it was like, yo,
he's like that, right?
The way he compared him, the way he described him, he was like, he's like Tracy McGrady meets Kevin Garnett almost, and with his height and length, and
I never thought of that comparison.
Yeah, that's how you know, and I would say that he leaned more towards, like, as KD developed, I think he leaned more towards Tracy McGrady than KD. KG, excuse me. KG was aggressive, bro. He was like a ball of fire. Every game in and game out.
Game in and game out. Right.
KD is chill.
Yeah, he laid back. He nonchalant.
You don't even really see him celebrate. You know what I mean?
Facts.
You heard he's like a,
he almost like
machine.
A robot with that shit. Yeah. You said machine, I said robot. But nah, that's a deadly comparison, a combination of a player. Yeah, I see that like, cause Tracy McGrady was different too.
He was.
Like, he was different. And I'm gonna tell you somebody else that I really fucked with back in the G. I fucked with Vince Carter heavy.
Oh
you know
yeah.
I mean?
And that's his cousin too. That's his cousin.
So you know what I mean?
That's crazy. That family had athletes, bro. Crazy.
Yeah.
And when I think of KD, it's like, yo, first time I ever seen him play live, it was like I want to say it was a 40 or 50 point game, but bro, he didn't miss. He like almost hit 20 in a row, 15, 20 in a row. That's crazy, like, to do. Like, if you play basketball at any level, making 20 shots in a row is hard.
It's hard,
like,
yeah.
Make 10 shots in a row is hard. 5 in a row could be hard,
For real.
He's doing this in the NBA with other pros that get paid to do what he's doing. To try to hit him.
To try to do 20 in a row, too. You
Crazy.
Feel me? Like,
nobody wants to miss. But this guy is like a machine.
is definitely different, man. I'm gonna tell you somebody else that I really like watching on the basketball court, Kawhi Leonard.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I like watching Kawhi Leonard. He's the definition of fundamental basketball.
Speaking of robots, like
Kawhi?
that dude is. I think he's a cyborg for real.
He's fundamental.
Bruh. Tell me you heard him. I know you heard him laugh before. Tell me you heard Kawhi laughing, bro.
Come on, man.
Nah, bruh. This dude a whole robot, bro. That don't even make any sense. I just don't understand.
He like that, though.
Yeah. He is, though. He is. And I want to see him I want to see him do his thing. Like,
Yeah.
I want to see him do his thing. I think he's really
Why
really
that's the
talented.
first
This the first thing that come up
the
because
first
I'm telling you,
result?
and
Oh
this is the
man.
one. This is the one. And he got a couple of them. Listen to this one first. This one go crazy too. This one go crazy too.
You understand? I'm not sure if he wants me to say that. It's kind of personal. It's personal. You understand? I'm not sure if he wants me to say that. It's kind of personal. It's personal.
Come on, bro. This dude is different. What's going on with him?
I don't even know where he's sitting at.
Yo, a whole.
Yeah, it's giving aliens.
Yeah,
it's giving
Yeah, bro. Not
Avatar.
from this planet vibes. He got replaced from somebody in the multiverse.
the nigga said,
Yo, bro.
Yo, that's funny.
That's all I'm saying, bro. Oh, but talented, man. And if he ever could stay healthy, that's the thing. I don't even know if his career is gonna last as long as it should. You know, it could have if injuries didn't come into play. Like he was, you know, I mean, every year injured since that one injury that kept him out of San Antonio. Like he's always been injured, man. But yeah, I mean, change of pace.
Facts.
So, you know, and we'll get to the segment. We kind of, you know, wrap it up, man, for this first go around, man. And but yeah, movies. I want to hear your top 3 movies that you love, influential or what have you. You know what I'm saying? However you want to place them. No order. And then I want your top 3 actors that you follow, that you would say like, yeah, these actors get me going. Like I try to catch every film of theirs. Yeah.
Alright. So my top 3 movies. Let me see. A League of Their Own.
Okay.
Yeah, I fucks with that. Mrs. Doubtfire.
Oh man, Toodaloo.
Yeah, and The Lion King.
Oh,
The animated version.
See, I'm on the side of saying that's the best, you know, Disney movie of all time. A lot of people like to debate with me on that, but you know,
I could say it's one of the best.
hey, listen, men lie, women lie, numbers don't.
Well,
but
I
just
agree with
impact though. I just say impact.
Impact was heavy.
That impact was heavy. That got a lot of people. That Hakuna Matata wave got a lot of people through some stuff.
But
that was it.
For me, and not even to jump off the question, but with the Lion King being the best Disney movie, the only thing that I say, cause like the impact the Lion King had on me, Pocahontas had the same type of.
Oh, so you got Pocahontas in there?
Yeah, Pocahontas is definitely in my top Disney movies.
Got you.
And then Mulan.
Yeah. See, I was an Aladdin fan.
Oh yeah, Aladdin is definitely
on Lion King and Aladdin, but Mulan was slept on. A lot of people don't know about it. Did you see the real one?
Okay. I ain't seen the real one yet.
I didn't finish it. I got started. Yeah,
listen,
I had to spin that. We gotta spin that in the lab one day.
That'll be dope. Mulan was. I guess that look how the Most High worked. Mulan, for me growing up, and I guess that should have probably been in my top 3 movies, but then again, nah, you know what I'm saying. But as far as like what shaped me as a man, Mulan was very influential in my life.
I hear that.
And believe it or not, as a trans person, I don't think a lot of people recognize
What was going on in
what
that?
was going on in that.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. So,
Nah,
yeah,
that's
you know
dope.
what I'm saying?
That's dope.
A lot of y'all watching this, like a lot of people will never know unless I tell them, like, yeah, I you know what I'm saying. I was assigned female at birth, but yeah, Mulan was, and I caught that then. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Mm-hmm.
so yeah, but Lion King was. I
Shit, it
think it was
sound
the
like
it was the
Mulan gotta
pride.
go in the top
Yeah,
three now. The more
feel
you talking
me?
about
Yeah,
it,
yeah,
jeez,
yeah.
it sound
Facts,
like
facts,
Mulan gotta go there now.
facts. That's a fact, bro.
Lion King, though. I mean, if it's my vote, my vote getting Lion King. But
Yeah,
Mulan was a dope movie, and I loved it when it came out as a kid. You know what I'm saying? I went to see all those Disney joints when it dropped. I still
facts.
see them with my girls now, so
Man,
I
what
still see them with
I
my
could
girls now.
name look, Lion King, Mulan, Pocahontas. That's just what went to like theaters and
Sure,
shit. But
sure,
you
sure.
got the Aristocats,
Talk about
Fern
it.
Gully,
Talk about
Five Goes West.
Fern Gully. Yo, people don't know about Fern Gully, boy.
I'm telling you feel me?
I'm
Like,
telling you. Yo, was All Dogs Go to Heaven? That was
All
Disney,
Dogs
right?
Go to Heaven.
That was fire, boy. I love All Dogs Go to Heaven, bro. I ain't even gonna
One
lie.
and two.
Like, that was, all of them. Both of them, I should say.
The
Like, All
Aristocats
Dogs
was
Go to
dope,
Heaven.
too.
See, All Dogs Go to Heaven and Lion King was probably the first two movies that really hit the heartstrings. You hear me? Like, I really didn't even, like, I didn't get emotionally attached to a movie like I did to those movies as a kid. You know what I mean? It was like, yo, I couldn't wait to like become a man when I was, watching Lion King and, prove all the doubters wrong and the haters and the people that try to steer your mind all crazy. Like Lion King hit me different. We gonna have another segment. We're gonna chat more about that. You know what I'm saying? Let me get your three actors, and then I wanna tap into to what you were saying. But go ahead.
Three actors. I'm gonna say. Oh.
Stumped him. Got him.
Yeah, that's
Stumped
a
him.
hard one.
Hold on, you might need some motivation.
Yeah, I don't know. Three actors. So
Three.
when we say actors, we speaking
Actors,
on the
actresses,
non.
it don't matter.
Okay.
Matter. Nothing matters on that. When I
see.
just say that, you know how they do. That's just speaking broad.
Robin Williams.
Ooh, I love Robin Williams. Probably got to be in the top comedians of all time. Not, I have my top comedian of all time, but he has to be like one of them. He's in the conversation for sure. But go ahead. Don't let me stop you.
I need the time to think when it comes to that. Nah, I'm gonna say Robin Williams for sure. Just because, like, going back to like my top movies, Mrs. Doubtfire. Again, it's just and not that. Let me just clear that up because some people could watch this and think like, oh no, Miss Doubtfire wasn't trans. Yeah, I'm aware, and neither was the father, but just for that father being able to go those lengths, right, to be a part of his children's lives. You know what I'm saying?
That was deep.
Comfortable.
All his movies had like a message.
Yeah, facts. And that's why I guess I had to say Adam Sandler is number 2.
We was just talking about Waterboy too.
Yeah, facts. And it's always a deeper message. It's a deeper perspective. And then shout out to all the strong black queens. Whoopi Goldberg. Whoopi. Yeah.
Wow, that's dope. That's really dope. My aunt Shelly gonna be mad at me for this, but when I was a kid, I used to always call her Whoopi. Cause to me, I don't know, she looked like family. If you was to see my family from South Carolina, man, they all look like they could be kin to Whoopi. And it's funny cause, my mother's side, You know, the last name is Richburg, and her last name is Goldberg, and she changed that to be I think it was when she got accepted into the Jewish community or something like that. I could be paraphrasing and fucking it up, but please forgive me if I am.
Still in all.
But still in all, like she was very it's just very close. Goldberg, Richburg, I don't know. But either way, she always reminded me of my Aunt Shelly. Especially in the movie Eddie. You ever seen Eddie?
What have I seen Eddie? That's gotta be Eddie. Listen.
See, people always think of Cicely.
Cicely Tyson is one of my favorite actresses too.
But like Whoopi, she
embarked on a lot of fucking.
Eddie was fire, bro.
Eddie was, bro. Listen to me. Eddie, alright. So like like I said, we got more segments to come, but like, I guess it was meant for for the wrap up because like Eddie, she was married, but she presented her feminism in such a masculine way.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
That was
like,
my Aunt Shelly to me because she was a businesswoman, and like the way she carried herself, it was very straightforward and boom.
To the
this
point.
Is what it is.
And
yeah,
like to say that is like, cause like we get, you know what I'm saying, as especially as a trans man, you know what I'm saying, like you struggle with the part of yourself that still has this femininity. But as humans, we have both feminine, masculine energy. And I feel like the movie Eddie and the way she played that part, she smoked it. Like,
yeah, she smoked
like
that.
I can be soft.
Yeah.
But nigga, I could get right on your level when it comes to this business. You know what I mean?
Whoopi smoked that.
Yeah.
That was a dope movie. Yeah. That was a dope movie. So I'm glad we ended on that one because I wanted to ask. So like, you know, as a trans man, you know, how difficult is it in the dating market? Because I always hear like right now, being single is a tough out. Everybody, like, you know, when you go on social media, you see people post about it, like that's like a hot topic, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
saying
man.
like, yo,
single is the new thing.
It's tough.
Like,
but so what is that like as a trans man looking into the, you know, into females, the dating pool, if you will, or just, you know, let's go back a step, you know, when you first started making your transition, because I was around for that too, you know what I'm saying? And well, not the first transition, but you know what I mean. When
medically you was there. Medically, the crew,
facts,
Untouched was there. Like
facts. So what was that like as you transition and getting into dating? Like, you know, what was that like for you?
First, I just want to say, like I just said, the crew was there from the beginning of my medical transition, and I just want to thank y'all again.
No doubt.
For one, and for clarify that for the viewers, medically transitioning and socially transitioning are two different things. Like socially, I've been a man all my life, but medically, I have not. So, thank y'all for always being there.
No doubt,
through the social
don't stop.
And medical part. You feel me? But it's hard to date as a trans man. In my opinion, from the outside looking in, because like you say, like y'all been around for me, you know, it's like that shit life for a real thing. You know what I mean? Like, no funny, that shit life for a real nigga, but it's still
just the emotional side of it, because I know
I was just about to say, emotionally, like you just gotta pick your battles with like you will with everything else with life, because like, I'm gonna speak from my perspective. I'm a trans man, but I also identify sexually as pansexual. So for me,
so please explain, because I would like to know what that means.
I don't attach myself to people based on their genitalia or their gender identity. And gender identity would be cisgender, assigned male, but you know,
sure.
Transgender.
Yeah.
So and then genitalia.
So is that like almost a way of saying, like, you look to the person more so than you do
than
the
anything
sexual.
else.
Yeah.
Anything
Okay.
else.
Okay, that's
Like
dope.
it could
That's
be this
dope. I
lamp.
didn't even know that was.
You know what I'm saying? If this lamp is an empty, bottomless pit of hate,
Mm-hmm.
I ain't attracted to it. You know what I'm saying? Like, so put the lamp in the perspective of a human.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care because you have whatever. That doesn't matter. Are you genuine?
Mm-hmm.
Are you sincere?
Right.
Can you stimulate me mentally? Because if you can, you can't. You can't. I can't satisfy you sexually.
Mm-hmm.
I won't be able to. You might think that you're sexually attracted to me,
Mm-hmm.
and I might be physically attracted to the what you present as. But when you start talking and you're an empty, bottomless pit of nothing,
Nothingness, yeah.
That section is out the window.
It's out the window.
Like,
that shit don't
shit
matter.
dead.
It's about how you connect with the person.
Yes,
Nah, I respect that. I respect that.
And like, just to clarify that too, like, because a lot of people could hear me say that, like, listen to that explanation, be like, well, shit, I'm pansexual then. Nah, that ain't that. But because, like, you know what I'm saying? Like I was talking, because I thankfully ain't single, but I was talking with my significant other, like, no grown ass cis man or woman is waking up at 40 like, yeah, I'm finna go try some dick today. Speaking from the male's perspective, you know what I mean? So the only thing that can make you attracted sexually to people of the same gender identity as you is you and what you like in that matter. But for a person that's pansexual, it ain't got nothing to do with that. It's more so the genitalia. See, because I could be attracted to you because of what you saying to me in my mind, but I'm not physically or sexually attracted to you.
Can I be honest with you? That's probably the dopest explanation I could hear about something I had no idea about in your community. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, because me as someone, you know, heterosexual, yes, Lord.
Heterosexual,
I love women, you know, like, you know, what do you call that?
You're cisgendered and you're heterosexual.
A heterosexual, like, in cisgender, right?
Yeah.
Like, okay, yeah. So that's me all day, alpha, right? But I like to hear about that because, to me, that was always something that I can care less about. You know what I'm saying? About someone's sexual preferences in the bedroom. But if you could tell me that you connect with someone on a deeper level than what we talking about, then I feel like that's something that always would overshadow anything that anyone's talking about, because it's like, you know, you can't tell someone who to love, you know.
Exactly.
Like, you can't tell anyone who to love. Exactly. So it's like you have to like, you know, be at some point private about your sexual endeavors. You know what I mean? I can't go around talking about what I do.
That's the perfect thing.
And
like,
the way, you
really,
know what I'm saying?
Because, like, regardless of not, whether you're heterosexual, whether you're homosexual, bisexual, pansexual,
sure,
polyamorous, whatever you are, what goes on in the comfort of your home should be no one's business. Now, you see me, and the whole time during the process of this interview, like, not for nothing, like, I've been comfortable with my trans identity around the gang, but for the purposes of conversation of the interview, like, until the time was right, it wasn't meant for me to say that I am a person of trans identity. Because guess what? I done been pulled over 3 times in the last week, and not one of those police asked me, was I a trans man? You feel me? Not one.
At first you look black right off the rip. That's the first thing.
That's the first thing you see. And
that's
then
the first thing
you don't see. You ain't chilling under my clothes. You ain't got no X-ray vision. You see an ID that say male,
and
black.
That's it.
That's all that matter, you know. So that's one thing, and that's one way to perceive that as far as gender identity. But the other, you know what I'm saying, the other perspective of it is, like I said, what got us on it. Like we all are naturally, created with both masculine and feminine energy.
Mm-hmm.
So whatever is put on display more, that's up to you. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Or, in my case, as a trans man, the lack thereof.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So, but even before medically transitioning, like a lot, like my partner, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
15 years. Like, and before we could get to where we identified as partners,
Mm-hmm.
I had to break it down to her because she's cisgendered.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But she's bisexual.
Right.
I could say that. Like,
Yeah.
I've been knowing her for 15 years. You know what I'm saying?
Respect.
She's bisexual.
Don't have her curse you out later too for putting.
I'm not
us
worried.
in.
We already discussed this before.
Yo,
You know what I'm
okay.
saying? You know what I'm saying?
Copy.
She bisexual.
Nah, respect.
But because of, like, being bisexual and pansexual are not the same.
Right.
Because bisexual mean you like men and you like women.
Right.
Most of the time, there's a stipulation on the type of men and women you like.
For sure.
Cisgender. You feel me?
Right.
So before we got in the 15 years of knowing each other, before we were able to put a title on what we have going on now, I had to understand, because I knew that she loved me for me. You know what I'm saying? But she didn't. I never felt like she was gonna understand my trans identity.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Because she was in love with the person that she met as a bisexual person.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Right? So I had to, you know what I'm saying, shift her perspective. Like,
sure.
I never was that girl. You know what I'm saying? I never was that girl. But you still bisexual.
Mm-hmm.
Because I was always that nigga.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You
Nah,
know
I
what
hear
I'm
that.
saying?
I hear that.
And now it's like, you know what I'm saying? Like, even with my family, like, I heard so much of how I needed to act like the rest of the girls.
Growing
How?
up? Growing up. Yeah. You didn't know how to do that. Yeah, you didn't know how to do that. Nah, I hear that.
Like, nigga, what?
So I would like to ask, like, so do you think, right, people who are trans, right, do you think they have a lot of difficulty, because this is what I hear a lot, is the honest part, on them saying that's who they are proudly from the jump. You know, people, you know, it's a lot of, you know, I'm not really political guy, so if you're listening to the show and you want the numbers, you're not going to get it here. But I'll say, you know, I've heard and I've read some stuff on a lot of suicides and a lot of killings and things that happen in that dating pool that we're talking about, because, and, you know, sometimes in those instances, people don't know.
Right.
Because like how you said, you know, you get pulled over by the cops, they see the ID, they don't even pay no mind to anything else.
Right.
So let's say you out and about, you know, and you see a lovely person that you're into, and you're not thinking the parts under the clothes in that moment. Like how you were saying, you just looking at the person, you talking with them, the energy, right? There's a natural attraction there. Like, why do you feel, you know, because I view you guys' community as proud, a proud community. You have to be, because you gotta represent yourselves. You know what I mean? So it's it's called pride. You know what I'm saying? You gotta be proud.
Right.
Right. So it's a proud community. So I have a question, you know, to those that aren't honest. Why not being so proud? You know what I mean? Like, you know, in your experiences, being in those circles, like, is there something that keeps these individuals, like, from being that comfortable with their transition?
Of course.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
of course.
Like,
in all
if you'd
honesty,
like to speak on that, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and that's a conversation, to be honest, boss, that's not even being had within the LGBTQIA plus, in my short definition of it, the alphabet mafia, it's not being discussed because, in my opinion, trans people should not be included in that because, in all honesty, being bisexual or even being pansexual, that's a lifestyle choice. Being trans is not. To an extent, being gay or lesbian is a lifestyle choice. Being trans is not.
So do you feel like it's a choice nonetheless, though, right?
To be trans?
Yeah.
Nah, it's not. Because, and the reason why a lot of trans people don't so readily identify their trans identity is because there's a lot of more transphobia than there is homophobia, because people don't understand that being trans and being homosexual are two different things.
No, right. So my question is, right, so what does the trans stand for?
So
because you know, like, because it's pansexual, you got bisexual, you got homosexual, like, you know, you got all these. So what is the trans part? What does that stand for?
Gender. So being trans is a gender identity.
Right.
Right? So being transgender, I was assigned female at birth, but I've never identified as a female.
Sure.
Right? Ever.
But do you think that still was your choice, though?
No.
No?
Because so for me, growing up, looking in the mirror, and this is just my personal experience.
Sure, that's all I want.
To know that
that's all I want.
Once I learned that being transgender was what it was, this is how I know. Because I would look at myself and I would see, as far as female anatomy, my reflection never showed that to me. But I could physically feel it, and it made me uncomfortable to be able to look and not see it, but physically see it, because that's how our mind work. I could not see it mentally, but I could physically see it. So physically seeing it mean when I reached out and touched it, it was there. Right. But when I'm looking at it, it wasn't there. Yeah. But my mind like, but I'm touching it. But my eyes like, but it ain't there. Right. You know what I'm saying? That's what being trans is. Right. That ain't what being gay is.
Right. You know I get what you're saying, right? So this is where I had it confused, because I always thought trans stood for, like, when you transition or transformation into your true,
because you got you transitioning into who you truly are.
So
but
that's what I mean.
What makes you that person is what you, because like I said, I know when I look down like this before. Yeah. When I looked down like this, I knew what was there, and I knew who supposed to have what was there.
I get it, right?
But what I'm seeing is not what I'm seeing. You know what I'm saying? I'm only seeing it because it's there.
Right. So
but up here, as I'm looking at it, myself is telling, like Tyler Perry. I said to myself, and myself said, "Huh?" Myself is like, "Nigga, it's there, but nigga, it ain't supposed to be." You know what I'm saying?
What you're saying.
So that's the difference, right there.
So what I wanted to ask with that, right? So it's like, all right. So trans is that just the identity part of it. Yes. And not necessarily the transition. The
expression. Yeah.
Because so the expression is that's
a choice.
That's the choice.
That's the choice, because I choose to be pansexual.
Got it. But your choice was to. So I get it. So
I choose to be
the trans is not after
trans man.
The trans is not after the change.
Right. So this is what, like, looking at being pansexual from my perspective as a trans man is this: if I was born cis, I would still be pansexual because I wouldn't have a problem with dating a man born cis like me, a woman born cis like me, or a woman born trans, or a man born trans.
Sure.
That's what pansexual is. That's my sexual preference.
Got you.
But my gender identity is trans. I'm a man of trans experience, because you done heard me say it a million times. The T don't make me a man.
Right.
I just so happen to be of trans experience.
I get it.
I was already a man.
So check it. So because I have female friends that are lesbian and everything like that, and in talking with them, they would explain how and it's funny. It's a lot of females say it now, like I'm a whole nigga, like they always say that now. You know what I'm saying? Like that's like a new thing. Ladies, by the way, like real niggas don't want to hear that you a whole nigga. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm just saying we don't care.
It's a better way to express that statement.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? We don't really care. I'm just saying. But they, you would hear my friends, express how they never felt like the dresses, and they never was on that time. Never, from the gate. Some had experiences, raised by just their pops, and they was almost just like their pops.
Right.
You know what I mean? And they was raised like a boy, being the oldest maybe, or some, so I would hear those, experiences and look at that for what it was, but I would have never looked at that and identified that as trans.
It's not, it's not. Because
they don't look at themselves
as a man, right? They know that they were raised like a boy.
Got it, okay.
But they not boys.
They don't look at themselves like boys.
They don't look at themselves like boys.
But
they probably look at themselves as being raised with tough love, or you know what I'm saying.
But I would say some do though. Thing. I would say some do though, cause I got some hard.
So if you got some, so let's put labels on it. If you got stud friends,
there we go.
Stud
See,
lesbians,
I don't really know the labels. That's why I didn't jump into it.
You know what I'm saying? Then that's something, but it's still something that they have to. Again, if they don't see themselves like that, then they're not. Because for me, again, it's being like transgender is not even a mentality. It's a physical mind state, right? Like when I look in the mirror before all of my medical transition, I saw myself with a goatee, so I knew how I was gonna look with one. You know what I'm saying? I saw myself with a flat chest, so I knew how I was gonna look with one. None of my surgery or none of my hormone development was a shock to me. I already saw it. When I looked in the mirror, I saw this shit before it was there. You know what I'm saying? So when I started to see it, my mind was at ease. You feel me? Because...
So do you think in order to make it complete, you have to go there?
No.
Honestly, you know
what I'm saying? Because
imagine what that would be. Imagine what that would be like, though. Just that mentality of looking in the mirror, seeing something than what you can physically feel over time. That could be a lot mentally for somebody. You know what I mean? Do you think that part when you what would you say? I want to be correct. When you transition into how you've always felt this whole time, that like do you feel like that is somebody, like, how can I say it, bro? I'm trying to say like best way to ask it, bro, because I'm a little sauce right now. Alright, so when I look at like how you identify as that, right? And that transition, do you look at that as your final, like the clarity of what you've been seeing in the mirror? Like, is that like, that's what I mean by like the finishing touches? Like, because if you've been seeing that, do you think like over time that can mess with the mind if you don't go through what you...
Yes.
Like, you get what I'm saying?
I do.
So do you think that's why it goes to there, and that's why it identifies as more than just the
I do,
Yeah,
and to say that is to say why, like right now, what we going through, and again, like not even to get political, but you know how we do, we throw, you know what I'm saying, we reference everything when we just chatting, but that's why these fucking like bills and shit that they trying to pass to keep trans youth from having access to these type of resources, and a lot of people get caught up in, oh, they finna do surgery. Da, da, da. That's not, no. There's not a motherfucking what is called plastic surgeon in the country that would risk their fucking license to do.
When it comes
cosmetic
to,
surgery.
but when it comes to kids, personally, I just think that's got to be household specific. Personally, because I don't think schools should be pushing it. Nobody should be pushing it. If it's a feeling that a kid is having, that kid should be going to their parents, and then their parents should be making that choice.
It's simple as that, because I can honestly say, growing up in Mississippi, in a household where my parents were married for 46 years until my daddy took his last breath. You know what I'm saying? If I knew that I could transition growing up, I know that my parents would have supported me.
They would have been behind it.
And they would have understood, because they saw what I went through and the struggles that I had with my identity as a youth.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? So that's what people don't understand, the concept of what transgender is. They hear transgender and it's like, oh, you trying to change your gender. No, motherfucker, this is what I already was. The only reason why I'm transgender is because that's what I gotta do in order to be susceptible to you. I gotta change my gender. I gotta transition into what you see as correct. Yeah. But I already felt like this. You know what I'm saying? But the reason why I said that is because, like, access to trans care doesn't necessarily mean hormone replacement.
Sure.
It doesn't mean surgeries.
Now,
you know what I mean?
Do you feel like there's a difference between, like, the struggles of a trans man and a trans woman?
Of course.
Right. So, like, all right. So I ask that because, you know, to hear you say how you feel about that, right? I can't tell you how you feel, right? So, but when I look at some of the arguments that a lot of females have when it comes to trans women, you know, they don't have no periods, man. Like, I'm just gonna keep it a rack with you, bro. Like, I'm a man. I never knew what it felt like to have a cramp, except for when I played basketball. I had a few of those sometimes during sex. You know, you gotta drink your water, guys. Water is very, very important. But yeah, like, I don't know about those cramps. You know what I'm saying? I'll never know what it would be like to be pregnant or to have a child. I can have as many as I want, all the way up until I can't shoot, until I'm shooting blanks. You know what I mean? Like, some of these things that identify with what a female is, or identify what a man is, some people will never have to deal with that part of it. So women in particular, I hear a lot of them have issues with the transition. Well, because I'm gonna be honest with you guys, like, you know, talking to all y'all out there, I'm gonna be honest with you. You know, I kind of feel for the women in that sense, because you don't understand what the trans women community is doing to the man's perspective that is a heterosexual. So, like, I personally feel, you know, that it is a very dangerous game to play, or dangerous thought process for women and trans women to not kind of have an understanding, because I feel I side with those women in that sense of, as men born with the genitalia of a man and the makeup of what a man is. I mean, it goes as deep as bone structure. You can look at a man's bone structure and a woman's bone structure. like right through the skin, the blood, the veins, and everything, and just look at the bone structure and see the difference. So when you look at, I feel like it's easier for you trans men than it is trans women, because as a man, it's a different kind of energy. Like, this is natural, you know what I mean? As the homie, like, it don't seem, you know what I mean? I'm gonna be honest with you, you know, a trans woman, you know, energy might be different, especially if she looks like a woman. You get what I'm saying? You know, like, that's a different energy for heterosexuals, you know what I mean?
That's the thing. So it's like this, like with the trans women, when it comes to a trans woman, I mean, when it comes to a trans person in general,
right?
You got people who have completely medically transitioned, and of course, we grown, you know what I'm saying? We got common sense. We can understand what completely transition means. So if it's a trans woman, that means she's had breast top surgery. We call it top and bottom on both levels. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So full top.
Do you think that should be disclosed? Do you think that's like something they should say off rip?
The reason why I'm going to say no off rip is because of the lack of understanding that people have. Because if a trans woman is completely medically transitioned, that means she has a vagina and she has breast. And let's be real, we real niggas. Like, what else do a nigga want to know? You know what I'm saying?
That you can have. Is she pretty?
You know
that you can have kids one day.
I mean, if the nigga want to have kids. If he want to have
that matters.
Kids,
that matters.
It do matter, but
that matters in households when you want to say. But that's the thing. All right, so then now that really be the thing. So then that changes the game, because are you exactly? Are we just fucking, or are we trying to build? You know what I'm saying? Because me personally,
that be the discretion. That be the level of discretion, though. Right. So if I know you trying to build something with me, you know what I'm saying? I'm a girl, I cannot fucking get you pregnant.
So that's why I feel like there should be, like, it should be disclosed, even if you got the full transition. Because what happens is that, you know, men are dreamers. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. We like to look beyond the beyond. You know what I'm saying?
This is the thing. If our mind
go there,
in my opinion,
it can just go. You know, just as we are dreamers, we all have bad dreams.
Facts.
Just as much.
I feel what you're saying. And it's not like I'm like I think that, you know what I'm saying, don't get me wrong, I don't agree with nobody like trying to bamboozle.
I was about to say that's the word I'm thinking. Do you feel like that's a bamboozle? Because that's kind of a bamboozle to me.
When, like, as a trans man, like, I could wholeheartedly say it's not always safe to disclose your identity as a trans person.
Sure.
And that's from a man or a woman perspective, because you never know. Like, we could like
hate crimes.
Yes, and it's very, very real, and it's very like, and the only reason why, like, when you ask, like, because we originally started with the question is, do I think that it's different between trans women and trans men? It is, because trans women over sexualize trans men just as much as men over sexualize lesbians and trans men. And I'm going to just be real with it. I'm a trans man, and I am openly pansexual. Like, I have no problem with agreeing to sex with the man on my own terms. No problem.
Sure.
But that has not stopped men from coming at me like they could dominate me and tell me what I'm going to, like, so.
And it's the same with that's where it
get clipped at.
I get it.
And it happens way more than the conversations that feel like these people should be disclosing themselves. It happens way more than these conversations are being taken. What reasons why people feel like it should be the first thing a trans person say. Motherfuckers getting killed is happening way more.
I don't say like, hey, how you doing? My name is Scott and I'm a trans. Like, nah, I'm not saying hell nah. I'm not saying that. I'm saying before it gets serious. Because I feel like in any relationship, and you know, sex be sex for a lot of people, man. We grown. But reality of it is that you exchanging bodily fluids with this person. Even if you wrap it up.
You exchange
energy. I don't know many motherfuckers that's throwing that dental dam on before they eating, bro. Ain't many shorties
It ain't
putting
many
a
motherfuckers that can
condom on
afford
before they
dental
putting a condom on before they sucking off. Like, it ain't really happening often. You know what I'm saying? So like I personally think once you engage in those sexual activities or prior to doing that, you know, if you know you have a sexually transmitted disease, do not have sex with this person talking about this is my personal business. That is
Nah, that's
wrong,
wrong.
guys.
But that
That is
that don't
wrong.
even got nothing to do with just being trans. That's
No,
period.
no, right, but
You know
that's
what I'm saying?
that's what I mean. Like that for me, and that maybe that's just because of how I feel about, you know, my sexuality, and because, you know, how I look at, you know, the human race and all of that. That's a conversation for another day, right? But like for my sexual preferences or sexuality, you know, like most people of the mindset that I would say I have, you know, identify with wanting to know something like that because
Of course.
of just the mental aspect of it and the lack of knowledge that comes with it. Because most of us, and not all of us, and you could attest to that because you be in the clubs,
Right.
but like most of us don't know much about that community.
That's a fact.
Females know more about that community than
That's a
men,
fact. That's
men
a
do.
fact.
You know what I'm saying?
And with that said, on that perspective of it, with like women knowing more about the alphabet mafia than men, it's because like females have that genuine nurturer, that like that kind of aesthetic about life. You know what I'm saying? But
Do you think a trans woman could have that same nurturing?
yes,
Yeah.
because that's what's missing from the understanding of society about people of trans experience, right? So, again, using myself, I've heard mad times of how motherfucker could never see me as a female. Of course, because I've never been a female.
Got you.
And that's just that.
Right.
Just like I've dated trans women. That's just that.
When I met you, you had a trans
That's
woman
just
that you was
that.
dating.
You know
When
what
I
I'm
met
saying?
you.
And like
Oh, I ain't
real
trying
nigga
to.
shit.
I ain't trying to blow you
Real
over,
nigga
man.
shit. That situation
That was a minute ago.
was different, but that's what, as a trans man,
Yeah.
that situation is what. Cause even as a trans man dealing with shorty, I was still being stereotypical to my own community.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But that whole situation is what got me to the point where I could be able to say, okay, I ain't bisexual, I'm pansexual.
Gotcha.
Because, like, you know, like, not even, you know what I'm saying, we ain't gonna put that person, all they, whatever they went through on that. But that situation,
So
from beginning to that woman,
right.
to it being that person,
Yeah.
is what made me know I'm pan.
So
Because I
wanted
was
to ask
willing
you.
to be with that person.
Sure.
Outside of what
was going on.
But they wasn't trying to have
I
that.
remember that was bad energy. I remember that. We ain't gotta open up old wounds. We ain't even gonna jump on that. But I remember when I first met, I sipped to that. When I first met you, that was the time. And I will say, like, you know, I know a lot of people, man. So many different walks of life, and when it comes to someone being able to, that I can be able to talk to openly about, you know, these topics, you know, I salute you for just
Facts.
for some of my ignorance, because
And I
it be
appreciate
ignorance
that,
at
bro.
times, but I'm gonna be straight up how I feel. You know what I'm saying? I'm always gonna be a
And I
straight
wouldn't
shooter
even
with
say
you.
it's ignorance,
what I'm
because
saying?
one thing I could say, as a trans man, as a person that's a part of the alphabet mafia community, even though I feel like the T shouldn't be included, one thing that I could say about Untouched has always been there for the education of Mississippi, not the miseducation.
Yeah,
You know
I'm
what
willing.
saying?
I'm
So I
willing to
wouldn't
hear
call
that.
it ignorance, bro. Like, motherfuckers just have genuinely wanted to be able to understand their brother. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
that's real shit.
And that's why, like, I was gonna use that for example when you was asking me, do I feel like with trans women they can have that woman's intuition, that genuine.
Sure.
Yeah, look, you saw me post medical and pre medical.
Sure.
And
yeah.
I've been the same nigga.
Same nigga, yeah.
You know what I'm
Real
saying?
rap.
Like,
Nothing changed.
rest in peace to Tip. I'm
Yeah,
still
nothing
that same nigga. Kool-Aid ramen noodles. Try that out. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's just what it is. But it takes, like, these conversations is another thing. And we was talking about it, me, you, and Tone them, when I was like, the reason why I started being a content creator as a black trans man, because like what we see in the media today is not what represents most of us. What we are seeing in the media about trans people is why these conversations are being had.
Sure.
Because it's a miseducation.
Yeah.
Like,
man, I told you a long time ago, man. I see you being the poster boy of this shit, man.
Did,
we gotta
you
get
did,
you,
and I
gotta get you on
appreciate that.
billboards,
I
bro. We
appreciate
gotta
that.
get you on billboards.
And you already know the only reason why I would even agree to doing something like that is because I like the conversation that we just had. Like, people need to understand.
Yeah.
Like, and that and not for nothing. That's no disrespect to anybody that identifies as bisexual, lesbian, gay. Like, that's not that. But if you are truly in tune with those sexual identities, then you know, and that's why being transgender gets threw up in that, because it's like bisexual, pansexual.
Sure.
Because before it was transgender, all we heard was transsexual.
Because once you add like sexuals on it, you become part of the gang. You know what I mean? I get it.
And that's not what being trans is. And like I said, if y'all like, it ain't no disrespect to that, but I like, as a trans man, it was my choice to be pansexual, because I've had experiences with trans women. I've had experiences with trans men. I've had experiences with cis men and cis women. So therefore, like, yeah, that's bisexual, but nah, because bisexual is limited to cisgender individuals.
Right.
It has been put forth in society for the duration of society that's what the B in LGBT means.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And like, I don't care if you have a vagina or a penis. Like, if you're dumb, you're dumb, and I'm no longer attracted to you. And that's what being pansexual is.
I hear that. And that's the Gemini coming through, right?
That's definitely the Gemini coming through.
Yeah, both sides are crazy.
You gonna make me.
Two sides of every Gemini,
and
but both of your sides.
Both of mine are crazy.
I hear that,
lunatics,
bro. I hear that.
And
yo,
both of my sides have like
some
6 people.
Some on the rocks out, man, on all platforms,
right
man.
Now.
This thing got, it got all of our peoples on it, man. Shout out, I did a lot of shout outs earlier, man. Shout out to M Nice, man, little bro, man. Love you, bro. You know what I mean? You came through and laid something up, Euro NJP came up. I know I shouted them out earlier, but they came up to round out the project. The project is fire, man. We tapped into a lot of stuff, y'all. Like, if y'all not into good music, man, then this ain't the channel for you. But if you like good music, well, no matter the genre, you just want to hear something good, some substance. You're tired of the old stuff. You're tired of the old stuff that's just playing on the new old stuff. You're tired of that. Come on over to Untouched Radio. We have a lot of artists that come in and out of here. We're going to get some music. It's going to be some more Mississippi on the radio, too. Man. That after midnight, definitely going to be on the radio. And then, got that daybreak coming soon. I know you're not really doing social media right now, but how can they find you? Just at Mississippi on all platforms? Like, what we doing?
Yeah. Right now, I'm not doing too much Facebook, which is the first platform I went viral on. Shout out to Facebook.
Shout out to Facebook. But, he's gonna actually fight. Yo, side note, Tone put me on to this shit. Tone said that Mark Zuckerberg is gonna fight Elon Musk, bro, in a cage match.
And like, Fight?
Yeah,
Like,
physically.
Oh, wow.
A cage
I got
match,
my money
bro.
on
We
Zuck,
got
bro.
Zuck, yo.
I got my
And
money
I said
on
the
Zuck.
same shit.
Zuck is Harvard's finest, bro.
I said I had it on Zuck, right? But the thing about it is because like I just wasn't sure if he could fight. But then they saying that he really takes this serious.
Yeah, he like that.
So if he's really taking this serious, right? And then you got Elon Musk, who they say is actually he does jujitsu. I don't know, Tone. I don't know if I'm right on that, but Tone put me on.
I'm pretty sure Tone know.
Judo or something, bro. But these
I gotta
guys
look
are
at it
going
like
in.
this, though. You know what I mean?
What's that?
Zuck is one of Harvard's finest.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And
Okay.
Zuck got the hood, bro.
You think so?
That's why I
Think
know
so?
so.
You know
That's
so?
why
You know so?
Zuck's so passionate about
Okay.
metaverse and Facebook, bro.
Okay.
He got it out the mud, bro.
Okay.
I mean,
Okay, respect. Respect.
You know,
So
like,
I guess
talking, like let's
so
put it,
Sippy said that we going. Oh, that's what I call it. Mississippi Menace. Gotta call him Sippy. That's Sippy right there for
I
me.
gotta go
guys.
with Zuck.
But
Yeah, I heard it
Sippy,
here first.
yeah, we heard it
I
here
gotta go
first.
with
That's
Zuck
where you gotta go. You gotta go with
I
Zuck.
was on Facebook when you had to have a college email to get on that thing.
Come on now, talk about it.
So,
Word. I was there for the MySpace days when Facebook
on
caught the
MySpace
jack,
too.
got the jack move on them.
I was on MySpace too, but you definitely had to have a college email to get on that boogie book first.
Yeah, I hear that shit, man. Shout out to all the college graduates and the people the high school graduates that's
Class of
going on to
2023.
college, man. Kayer, man, love you, boy, man. Shout out to you, man. I know you going on to your to do your thing. You know what I mean, SUNY Albany, man. That's fire. You know, shout out to the Cap, man. The Cap has been treating me well, so you know I gotta shout out the Cap, man. And yeah, man, this is quite a few people. Shout out to my nephew, man. He graduated too, man. He's got to see him play ball. Yeah.
Got to see. Yeah, we
talk.
He playing in the A, right?
Mm-hmm.
Shout out to Nyla Rose, my baby girl.
Yeah.
Big 2-5, not
Big
the little one.
2-5.
Southwest Bears going to Southwest for her freshman year.
That's dope.
Full ride, bro. That's a big thing in Mississippi.
That's dope.
You know what I'm saying?
That's dope.
Women's basketball.
Hey.
You know what I'm saying?
Hey now.
Big 2-5.
Now you know how I feel about women's basketball.
Hey,
both of my
2-5.
girls want to play.
Big
You know
2-5.
I hear that.
Not the little
Both of
one,
my girls want to play, so I have a very soft. Yo, support the WNBA, man.
Facts.
Like they in a limbo right now. I think so because I've been saying this a long time, yo. And rest in peace, Mamba. You know, I think he was somebody that would have really put into it, and you know, with his daughter, and she was blossoming. You know, rest in peace, Gigi. She was blossoming, and you know the others that died on that cause. And rest in peace to my cousin Shanae. She was stabbed to death that same night of the, you know, that tragedy of the helicopter crash. So like, I think with his kid turning into the player that she was turning into, I think the skies was the limit. Yeah, it would have got crazy once that came around. So, you know, I say that to say, you know, NBA players, man, doctors, lawyers, do more, man. Business owners, entrepreneurs, do more. Support the women athletes, yo. They go hard for this shit, man. And
they role models.
Yo, for real.
Think about it. Like
for real, man.
Said my man, a girl died.
Yes, Lord.
Like
proud.
Think about your daughters who looking up to these women.
Yo, for real.
I mean, and they ain't got nobody else to look up to.
Yo, for real, man. For real. Like luckily their mom is somebody that they could look to quickly, you know what I'm saying? And then or when you look at like their grandmothers, you know, both of their grandmothers, they got, you know, stuff like that. So just shout out to the people out there being role models, man. Yeah. Men, women, you know, however you identify as, man, like be out there and be a role model like you are right now for your community, because you speaking volumes right now, and I appreciate all your input. And there's gonna be more. We gonna have so many more of this.
Man, I just want to take that and say big ups to all the trans parents, because there are trans men who were blessed to be able to go through that situation that some men say never let them be a man. Yeah. You know, and then there's some trans women who have gave their life.
Sure.
And they're being there. You know,
Yeah.
However you look at
Shout
them,
out to
they're
them.
there.
Shout out to them,
Shout
yo.
out to them.
Yo,
man.
people, like good people, like good humans come in many shapes and sizes and
Yes,
forms,
Lord.
and you gotta appreciate a good human, yo.
Gotta
Let's
appreciate a good human.
let's knock the walls down of all of what we talk about, but just look at it as, yo, let's be good human beings, guys. That's not bad, you know. You know, the only alien I know is Tone.
Shout out to
Shout out
Tone,
to Tone.
man. Nah, though.
Nah,
for
I think
real.
JP might be one too. I'm
Come
not
on.
ever gonna lie. JP be bugging out because he I don't think he ever really wrote a rhyme down, but that's neither here nor
neither
there.
here nor there, right?
Yeah, man.
Nah,
But
for real.
so
I appreciate
all
that last
platforms,
statement, for
yeah,
real, though. I
no
just,
doubt.
before you even wrap it up, I just like for real. I appreciate that last statement because, like you said, you know what I'm saying. Like I said, we got more segments, but like
Yeah,
just to wrap up on that trans person, you know what I'm saying, thing, like, you know, you got women out here that can't bear
right.
from
Sure.
their birth.
Sure,
You got men out here that can't shoot
sure.
from their
Blanks.
birth, and that don't make
Blanks.
them no less
Nope, of what they are.
of what they are.
That's a
you
fact.
know what I mean? So shout out to all of the trans people, whether it be a trans man or a trans woman, who have been blessed to give life. Because I was blessed to give life, even though
Yeah.
that, you know, that life left this world so
Yeah, man.
fast.
Yeah, man.
Every day of the last 14 years with him was joy. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
long live Landon, bro.
Long live Landon.
You
For
hear me?
real.
And his name it rhymes with mine. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So I
Landon
love
and
that.
Brandon.
I love
Facts,
that. I
facts.
love
And
that.
one thing that young man, that 14-year-old boy taught me was love for everything.
Mhm.
Like, as a trans father,
Mhm.
you couldn't tell him I wasn't his father.
No doubt. No doubt.
And that's no shade, no disrespect to his dad, but that's a whole different,
There's a different type of
lane.
energy going there.
It's a
Yeah, it's a
lane.
whole
It's a
type of
different
different
lane.
energy.
you know what I'm saying? And him and his dad did have a bond, but he definitely,
He knew what it was.
yeah, man,
It
he
is what it
definitely
is.
rocked out with the kid.
Whoa.
He definitely was a big fan of Mississippi Menace.
I hear that, man.
So I do
Yeah,
this for you,
man.
kid.
Long live Landon, man. That's a fact. And like I said, man, you know, it's all about being a good human being. You know, this world is wild. You know, it's a lot of things going on. Like I said, I'm not really into the politics or the numbers. I'll touch upon topics with you guys. I'll certainly go to any topic. But I just want, you know, at the end of the day, when you listen to me, or listen to anybody that's on the show, I want you to listen to their story, because they all have a story, man. Shout out to Ples. But everyone that comes here, everyone that grace us with their presence, they have something to offer. And it doesn't matter where they came from. It don't matter what type of life they walked. They came here with their story. And I think it's important, man. People respect that. Respect people's story, man. Respect their journey. You know, everybody has a journey. Everyone has a story to tell, you know, until we not here no more. You know, Landon is 14 years on this earth, you know. Crazy shit I did at 14, man. You would think I wouldn't be here. Sorry, Ma. But, yeah. So, I say all that to say this. Y'all be safe out there. You know, it's crazy in these streets. You don't get caught up in the hype. Stop clout chasing, folks. You know, your time is your time. It's a time for everything. You know what I mean? Untouched Live at all platforms. I say it again, at Untouched Live at all platforms. If you are looking for some food, swing over to Yaya's house. That is in Schenectady. Some Mississippi to New York finest. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that's that. Yeah, if you. Yeah, so make your way over there. There's nice wings over there as well. You know, if you're looking for a new app to try to communicate with people uh, from all walks of life, as we talked about in various fields of entertainment, books, things like that, you can go to Shestel.com. That's SHETEL, Shestel. That is an app as well. It's a very new app. Shout out to Dolores. She is really fine tuning that, and she's also a client of Untouched Studios and doing really big things. I see her being a billionaire one day.
Yeah, me too.
I really do. I really do.
It's crazy that you said that
Hmm.
because being able to be blessed to be involved in the the production of everything that y'all started with her and getting her stuff
Hmm.
up on and running as far as the entertainment
Hmm.
side of it. I said that first night. I was like, yo, I'm really sitting in here with the next billionaire.
Right.
I said
Right.
that,
It's coming.
in my mind.
It's coming. Yeah, I see that happening, man. And I reference Pleasant a lot. He's another person. I can't wait to have him on the show. I'm gonna try to get Dolores here too, man. I think she'd be a really, yeah. I think that'd be really dope. To get her here to tell her story. She has a very interesting one as well. But I'll say this, ladies and gents, and everybody that's tuning in and listening. We appreciate y'all, man. This has been fun, man. It's episode 1, and it's all done in the books. Shout out to Mississippi Menace being my
Shout out
first.
to you, man.
You know what I mean?
Shout
We
out to
got
you,
many
man.
more coming, bro.
That's a
Many
fact,
more
man.
coming.
That's a
You know what
fact.
I'm saying? What is dead may never die. What is alive may live on. And when it's grim, become the grim reaper. You heard?
Yes, Lord.
Yes, Lord. Yo, at Untouched Live, man. Word. We really doing this thing.
And y'all know y'all could go follow me on Mississippi Menace at all platforms. TikTok is where I'm at the most right now, so go get that. TikTok. Use the same.